Hey, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the State of the Knicks podcast. Kenny K here with my diehard Knick fan, diest hard fan in the East Coast, Mr. Kurt Valenti. How are we
I'm
doing,
good.
Kurt?
Good to be back, Mr. Kirkpatrick. Not just back on the air, but back from a nice little vacation. So
We just had our vacation out there in Wildwood, New Jersey. Spent the week with you guys. It was a blast,
it was a
Kurt.
great time. Great weather. We only had one little rainy afternoon, but while we were there, we had some breaking Nick news, couple breaking things. We're gonna, talk about it, and it's great when you can be on a vacation, nice and relaxed, and you get some Nick news. So let's go. Let's get into it. We got a lot to discuss here, Kenny. A lot to discuss.
Lots of our friends and co-hosts are tuning in. Keith saying, and just like the prodigal son, they've returned. Jump around, House of Pain. Carson saying hello. What's up, Carson? And Graham, our producer, backstage producer on Wednesday nights, K&K Sports Show. A couple more weeks, we'll be back, ready to roll for football season, and a couple more weeks of our summer vacation. And tonight we just got a short little Nick one, and then for those who don't know, I'm part of the Denver Bronco Roundup. I'll be joining Keith 10 p.m. Eastern tonight. And for those who also don't know, check out the Carson Shear Show.
Yes, sir.
Doing a great job with fantasy football, Kurt. In August, I think we're going to be joining him.
By the way, podcast. I'm going for a three-peat this year. You do realize that, right?
K&K Sports Show fantasy football.
That.
We might have to have a fantasy football show.
Yeah,
little round table fantasy football on the K&K. Maybe we'll do that.
But this I'm not giving you any secrets of that. Hell no. Let's go. But you know what, Kenny? Let's go. Disappointing. Again, a very disappointed. We failed. We absolutely failed in our season. Losing Eastern Conference Finals to Indiana again. Again, when you have expectations and you lose, consequences, right, Mr. Kirkpatrick? Tom Thibodeau gone, Mike Brown in. You want to start right there, Kenny? You want to start?
Yeah, because Keith's asking Mike Brown. You got rid of Tibbs from Mike Brown. And Graham's going to be out there in Bronco training camp, Kurt. So he's going to be getting you some stuff over there. He says you should come to training camp, but a little far from you. You had your summer break. So a little hard for you to get out there to Denver, maybe next year. But Mike Brown, yeah, Keith wants to know you got rid of Tibbs.
I'm going to give Graham a list of some. I need some stuff for the sports room. So if he's going there, I'm going to need some stuff over there. So, all right. So Kenny, let's go.
Yeah. So Mike Brown comes in, Kurt. You gave me a stat the other day, Keith, and I didn't know this stat. 50-40 in the playoffs. Not bad. Not bad. He was part of that championship team with the Lakers.
He's won, I believe, three.
He was the
I
assistant
believe
coach with
he's
the
won
Lakers.
4 NBA championships as an assistant. He won with Golden State and San Antonio.
Right. And Sacramento, he was the
Yes.
coach of the year when he was over there. Keith, I kind of like this move. I feel like it was just a bad mix, Tibbs with New York, with the style that they wanted to do, bringing Karl Anthony Towns in. Tibbs and Karl Anthony Towns is like oil and water. It doesn't mix. Tibbs didn't utilize the bench, burned the starters out a little too much. It showed in the playoffs. It even showed last year a little bit, right, Kurt? It even showed a little bit last year. So we bring a new coach in, Mike Brown. Hey, I'm not going to judge until I see it. You know, I like it. I'm giving it a solid B, maybe a B minus. If B being the ceiling, B minus being the floor. I think it's right around there. So I like it, Kurt, and I'm gonna roll with it, and gonna assume we're gonna get into some scenarios later, but I'm gonna assume right now that our starting 5 are staying. So let's see. We're gonna talk about it later in the second part of the show, but let's go. Our good friend Albert Dutchy Knoppers saying howdy, Kurt and Kenny. What's up, Albert? Good to see you. But yeah, Kurt, why don't you go? And then Keith has another question. So why don't you answer that one after your thoughts on Mike?
I'll just say this right now. He wasn't my first choice. But there's no, I know where Keith asked, you got rid of Tibbs for Mike Brown. And, you know, all I've been hearing on New York radio the past 3 weeks, however long it's been, it's, you know, anybody but Tibbs, right? Like that's what the players wanted, right? Like, and again, I saw this tweet today and I 100% agree. If this Knicks team wins an NBA title in the next 2 or 3 years, they said Tom Thibodeau should never pay for a dinner or a meal or a drink in New York City again, because he is a big part of it. He is. And he's done a phenomenal job. But I just think we cannot waste seasons anymore. And we weren't like, he took us to where he's going to go. That's it. It's where he's got to go. I think Leon Rose and Dolan, but Leon Rose especially, have the, you know, the word I'm using, the blank to make that move, because that's the move that has to be made, right? And we talk about the Broncos. We're all on a Broncos show, and you saw what the Broncos did, right? You saw what they did. John Fox took them to a Super Bowl. John Fox again. Well, look, they won another division. They're the 2 seed, but sometimes you can't just like status quo, right? You can't. Denver was the best team in 2012. They didn't win it. They were better than that Seattle team. They couldn't win it. 2014, you lose to a Colts team at home in a divisional round. It just can't happen, right? So Elway had to go out, go get Gary Kubiak. You roll the dice, bang, a banner's up in you know, their 3rd Super Bowl banner's up. It has to happen. This was as far as it's going to go. I will never say Thibodeau is not a good coach, Kenny. He's a great coach. He's a great coach. If he took over, again, I'll just throw this out there, the Brooklyn Nets, pencil him in, 45 wins, 46 wins. Maybe you win a first round, but it's not about that anymore, Kenny. This is about a championship. And we are not going to win a championship, just like you said, playing 6 and 7 guys. You know, just no adjustment. Like how we're talking down the shore, Kenny. Like, where's like the adjustment? You know, just Indiana's going to do the same thing. Here comes a pick and roll. And we can't defend the pick and roll. Like, hey, again, nothing bad. Tom Thibodeau is always going to stay on my sports wall here. It says it's about Tom when they sign. I love him, but he's not the right coach for this team. And you know what? Listen, Brown's been there. Brown's done that. This season, I'll tell you this now, Kenny, and I've always said, you know me, because I'm not being a hypocrite here. This season's not on Mike Brown. This season's now is on this team, because this team basically, the players are the ones who got Thibodeau fired, right? They are. They all went, we could do better. We're going to see. We're going to see what they're made of. But you know what? I'm behind them. I like it. I watched the press conference today. I think he's going to bring a new voice. I think he's going to bring a little more creativity. On Indiana, I heard our good from our creativity like he did with Sacramento. And Kenny, I don't know if you're going to like this and what's your thoughts on this. Our good friend Alan Hahn said off the record, he said, with this Knicks roster, he said it was a historical offense they had in Sacramento. What was it, 3 years ago? He said he thinks it's going to be a better offense because there's better players on this Knicks team. What do you think about that?
That would be amazing. And that would be incredible because we do have some defensive players. You got Mitchell Robinson, you got Josh Hart that are defense first, OG Anunoby, of course, defense first. If you can get even Bridges, you can get, the offense on top of the defense, there ain't no reason. And the way the East is settled right now, there's no reason why. And I think that's what got Tibbs fired, Kurt, was there was no reason after they beat the Celtics that this team shouldn't have went to at least the East Coast Finals. And if they go to the finals and lose to the Thunder, Tibbs is back.
Well, let me ask you this. 3 years ago, you were the favorites going into the conference semifinals against Miami with a banged-up Jimmy Butler, no Tyler Hero. We lost that series, okay? Last year, big favorites against Indiana. I know we were injured and all that. We lost that series. This year, we were pretty much 2-1 favorites to win this conference.
I'm gonna answer Keith's question real quick. What does Mike Brown bring to the Knicks? What do you get with the best Mike Brown? What Mike Brown brings to the Knicks is a possible sixth man for Deuce McBride. He's going to use Deuce McBride the way Deuce McBride should be used, or Josh Hart. There's going to be a sixth-man candidate.
Well, talking about six-man candidates, we got the winner from a couple of years ago now.
Oh, Jordan Clarkson. Right. So this is going to be a team that's going to be fresh come playoffs, Keith. And what do you get with the best Mike Brown? An NBA championship.
And I'm going to go back to my Broncos show and what I mention all the time, okay? With you heard Alan Hahn, F them picks and all that. When you want to win a championship, right? This now, how we were built last year, when I say how we were built with the, you're not going to win with the Tyler Koliks and the Dadiers and the Huck Porties, like in year one as a rookie, throwing them in. But now, look at your bench. Just say it's Mitch and Cat that starts. Your bench now, you got Jordan Clarkson, 16 points per game. Like you said, sixth man of the year, right? You got Deuce McBride. Now you got Josh Hart. Now you got Gershon Yabusele, okay? And you got Ariel Hukporti. Now, your young guys, Kolik and Dadier, or 11 and 12. That's a big difference than saying you guys are going to play. Now, second year, okay, we'll see what they got. I love this roster, okay? I love this roster, Kenny, because we legitimately now have a bench and we have veterans. And that's how you win in this league, with veterans, with older guys. That's how you win. So let's get right into free agency. We're down.
Okay. Ernie's saying hello. Big Bronco fan. He's waiting for your Bronco show to come back. A couple more weeks, Ernie. It's the summer vacation that we usually take. So he'll be back with his Bronco show soon. Denver Bronco Roundup tonight, though, Ernie. Come check us out. You know that. Tuesday nights.
We're down there the first night. Boom. Rumor is buyout candidate Jordan Clarkson to the Knicks. Not only on the Knicks, Kenny, not only to the Knicks, but on a league, on a minimum contract. Now, a 16-point, you're talking about a 16-point last year. I think he averaged 16 points. His career is 16 points. Kenny, what does he bring you and how happy you are, Jordan Clarkson to the Knicks?
He brings me depth on the bench, and he also brings an emergency starter. If you have a guy that's out for a few games, he can fill in multiple roles on the offense. He could fill in both forward spots, in my opinion, and he's bringing depth to the bench, and I love it because we all know what our bench looked like last year, and 2 years ago it was just bad circumstances where everybody was getting hurt, but we had a deep bench. And if that deep bench 2 years ago with our starters, we could have had a chance.
You know what? I wish. And again, listen, I'm not. Again, this isn't about injuries. This isn't, because again, you don't want to wish injuries to anybody. But I wish Indiana was healthy. Give me that. Give me that weak ass bench. Bring them in. Give me Obi Toppin. Give me Ben Shepherd. Give me them now against Clarkson and Deuce and Yabusele. Listen, there's. Remember what I said?
Josh Hart's going to probably be on that second team
too. Go back to my podcast, the show, as soon as the Knicks got beat, and I said they need people that aren't. You're not going to no choke signs, no dancing. Mr. Yabusele, that shit's not happening. Mr. Clarkson, I'll send you a video. He fought, I don't know what team they were last year. He fought like 4 guys on one team. That won't happen anymore. That won't happen anymore, Indiana. So bring them on. It's, I don't want to hear it. Bring on that weak bench. Bring on that weak bench, please. Bring that on. But I love the moves, Kenny. I'm ecstatic. I just think Clarkson, he's a GOAT. Listen to me. What I like about him is hand them the ball, go get a basket. Go get a basket. I need a basket. It's something we don't have. We don't.
Yeah.
But the Yabusele, till then the next day, boom, more breaking news. I don't remember. We were sitting at the house and I say, Kenny, we got Gashon Yabusele. I mean, I loved this guy when I was watching USA versus France in the Olympics last summer. And he just dunks on like right over LeBron, like looked at him like, get the hell out of my way. I said to Jen, I want this guy. And he went to, the Knicks were in on him, but he went to Philly. I think he averaged like 12 points this year. Like 40%. I think it was like almost 40% from 3. This guy, man, I'm telling you, he's physical. He gets like excited. He is going to fit right in for this team, Kenny, right into this team.
Mm-hmm. So, yes, he is. I agree.
Let me ask you this. What would you do? So now you have your, we know our 12 guys, but we'll get into if that could change. But right now, if this is the roster, well, let me ask you something. Do you want this to be the roster?
I would like a backup point guard that if Brunson went down for a couple weeks, somebody I can count on. Also give me some meaningful minutes every game. Give me 10 minutes a game. Give Brunson a nice rest every game. Give him that rest, and have your backup play 10 to 12 minutes a game. And also an emergency spot. I'm okay with a few games.
Okay, real quick, rapid fire, yes or no. Would you be interested? Malcolm Brogdon. Chris Paul. Russell Westbrook.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and yes. If I had to pick an order, Chris Paul, Malcolm Brogdon, Russell Westbrook.
So you want a vet?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And Chris Paul, I know he's up there in age, but he could still play and give me those. This is your role, Chris, 12, 15 minutes a game. Fourth quarter, you could put him in with Brunson and run 2 point guards. Let Paul run the point and Brunson run the 2.
Yeah, I know. I like it. There's Mr. Calderio. Down. Good evening, guys. Let's go, Knicks. What's up, Calderio?
What's up, Mark?
Okay. I'm going to get into one more scenario in a second, but okay. So if this is the team, are you going back to the lineup? Well, I'll start with lineup A, which was pretty much the regular season lineup last year. Brunson, Bridges, OG, Josh Hart, and Cat. Are you going back to that lineup? Don't give me a switch yet. Just yes or no. Is that your starting lineup?
Okay. I want to say no.
Would you go with what the switch was in the postseason? Brunson, Bridges, OG, Cat, Mitchell Robinson. So that would be your starting lineup. So now your bench, Clarkson, Deuce, Josh Hart, Yabusele, and probably Huck Porty right now. And then Kolek and Dadier is your 10 and 11.
I'm fine with that.
I would do that too. If the roster stays, that's what I would do. again, I'll be honest, I am not against matchups. So say there's just, I'm just going to throw this out there, a team that is very small, like starts 3 guards, don't really play a center. I don't have a problem like for that game. Okay, we're going to put Josh Hart in, and but I don't have a problem with that. Do you?
No, because you want to have a better matchup. They want to go speed. You can bring speed in. You can go smaller.
See, I don't think that's an issue. Like I know there's teams, if you're a starter, you're like, come on, you're an NBA guy, like player. I mean, if you're coming off the bench tonight, you're coming off the bench. I mean, I'm not putting Jalen Brunson on the bench, but I mean, if it's, hey, Mitch, we're going to go small tonight and Josh is, they got to,
Oh, and talking about small teams, like the Pacers are going to be small. They just lost Miles Turner. So when you play the Pacers and they try that speed stuff, have some speed guys starting, and then Mitch plays the backup.
The nice thing is with Clarkson, he could play the point, he can handle the ball, and obviously he's a 2 guard. Yabusele could play the 4, he could play the 5, he could play the 3. I'm telling you, these 2 guys, and for the amount of money, like this is where I think Leon Rose, I believe, is top 3 executive in the league. He got Jordan Clarkson and Gershon Yabusele for a total of $8 million. I saw something the other day. It was like Sam Merrill. They're paying like $16 million for Sam Merrill. I saw who was another one for 16, like doubling the money. Like these 2 guys, like they could start in the league. So just an unbelievable job by Leon Rose. Got us what we have to do. Now, here's what I got to get into now. Because there's 2 elephants in the room that it's not going to go away until it goes away. And this might not go away until the end of August, September, trade deadline, and into next summer. Number 1, Mr. Kirkpatrick. Again, breaking news while we were down the shore. Mr. LeBron James opts into his $53 million contract with the Lakers, but his agent, Rich Paul, comes out with a press release that's basically he wants to win a championship. He has to check the situation. And there's just rumors that he's not happy there anymore. And he might look to leave. So my couple questions to you, Mr. Kirkpatrick. Are you interested in LeBron James if he is interested in coming to the New York Knicks?
I know my answer in the past and all week long on vacation, Kurt, was no. But I would say yes if the deal was right. And what I mean by that is I don't want to give up positions. I don't want to get weaker in a position to get LeBron James. So I don't want to give up center Karl Anthony Towns and get dramatically weaker there with Robinson and Hukporti offensively. If it meant giving up Miles Bridges and Deuce McBride, maybe, then come talk to me. Maybe OG Anunoby, maybe. But I don't want to get weaker with my center position that many points to bring in LeBron James because you're just going LeBron James, Karl Anthony Towns. Towns is going to get you 20 to 25 a game. LeBron's going to get you 20 to 30 a game. It's close. So I don't want to give up that and lose a lot on the center position there. So it would have to be the right move for me to get LeBron
with the
James.
money and the CBA, there's really not many different ways to do it. I mean, one is just going to be straight up Karl Anthony Towns because that money's matching. 2, it's going to be a combination of Bridges, Josh Hart, and Mitchell Robinson. Would you do that?
Wouldn't be ecstatic about it, but I would do it because you have a couple bench guys to replace those guys, and you could still go out and get a couple guys. You would have to get a couple guys on the vet minimum.
Okay, and then I believe option 3 is something like OG and Mitch. Some with Deuce or something to that. Again, to make the money work.
Again, it's tough. It's tough because he's LeBron James. Some say the best player in NBA history. If they don't say the best player in NBA history, they say the second best player in the NBA history. It's Jordan and James. How do you say no to that? How do you say no to bringing arguably the best player in the NBA to New York? You said it best the other day. You're 50 years old. You want to see a championship. I'm 50 years old. I want to see a championship. I thought about it after you said all those statements. And I said, you know what? Kurt's got a point there. I don't care who's on this team.
I see. That's the thing that just drives me. I mean, it drives me crazy when, I talk on my Broncos show and we have to draft. I want my drafted player. I don't care. I don't listen to me. Was Jalen Brunson drafted to Nick? Was Mikal Bridges?
No. Nope.
Was OG Anunoby?
No.
Was Josh Hart?
No.
Was Towns? No. So who cares? Who cares? Right? Like, that's the thing. Like, it doesn't matter. I don't care about a homegrown player. That means nothing to me. You look up at banners, it don't say Super Bowl champs, homegrown. Like, it don't say that. It says Super Bowl champs, NBA champs, World Series champs. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, right? Like, so I don't care. I'll say it again. I don't care. Let's get the craziest part is that, see, here's the thing, right? I think LeBron only has two. I'll be honest. I just think it's either stay with the Lakers or I think it's going to be Cleveland or New York. I think that's it. He's not going to go to any West team. What West teams is he going to go to, right? The West is so hard. By the way, did you see breaking news today? Jokic turned down a contract extension.
Yeah, Jody wanted me to mention that.
Next year's free. I'm just going to, I'll bring something. I texted Jen yesterday about in 2 years of free agent class is crazy. But see, here's the thing, right? Like, the Lakers are doing the right thing now. The Lakers are saying, listen, this is really Luka's team. We have to build this team around Luka, not build it around you. It's different though now. So where is he going to go, right? Is he going to go to Dallas, right? Is he going to go? Like, where is he going to go in the West? Anywhere he goes, Kenny, in the West, there's still no guarantee. The Eastern Conference semifinals next year should be Cleveland, New York. Right now, I am not afraid of Cleveland. I will be afraid of Cleveland if he goes there. And that's why I think you have to make the move to, one, get him, but block him from Cleveland.
Well, let's say hello to Face G. He's a new face. I'm not thank you for joining our show. He's disagreeing. He's saying you want to give up two key players for OG. Two key players or OG for LeBron for 1 year. That's nuts. No, thank you. If we get LeBron, it better be on the waiver wire, not giving up any young player for him.
See now, let me get into this. He made a great point. There's still some rumors that, here's the problem with LeBron. He could have opted out of the $53 million contract and he could have went wherever he wanted to as a free agent. What he wants to do is, I want my $53 million and now I want to go to a team of my choice. So just say he does negotiate a buyout with the Lakers. I'm all in on taking him that way. Are you?
Yeah, I would take him that way. Yeah, with a buyout.
So you just add him. That would just be an insane team. Listen, you're paying like the minimum for him or whatever it is, but I just don't know if that's going to happen. Here's the problem though. Will you be afraid of Cleveland if he goes to Cleveland?
Cleveland would be a huge threat if he went to Cleveland. Pair him up with Donovan Mitchell. Yeah.
That's a problem.
Yeah, that's a heck of a front court, and that's going to be dangerous in the playoffs.
So I think those are his options. Now, people would say, well, you stay with the Lakers, you do what? Do I ever think, and I'm with Keith, I think it's Jordan and Kobe. That's how I would put them. But if he came Kenny. And he's the final piece to be the one that does it for the first time in 53 years, Kenny. Think about that. 53 years. They have not won an NBA title.
It's a long time for a big market.
And they're the one. He's the one now. Regardless if he's the 1, the 2, but he's the piece. Can you? I'm not doing it, but can people now say he did more than Jordan?
People will say that. Then I'm not on that train. Jordan's always going to be number 1. I will say LeBron a clear number 2, and then Kobe number 3 on players I've seen play. So I'll say that. I'll give him number 2, but I'm never putting him ahead of Jordan. No way. And we've seen Jordan our whole careers. Those Knicks Bulls series, those Bulls Pistons series, Bulls Lakers. We saw what Jordan did, and he was incredible, and he'll be the GOAT in my opinion.
But see, that's why I think it's just those 3 teams. I mean, listen.
Well, Keith's saying LeBron to the Rockets.
No
buyout.
No, because
Durant's already there.
I'll be honest though. Even if he went there, they're not. They won't go to the finals. See, I think this is crazy. I think if LeBron came to New York, we walk to the final. We walk to the finals. We're the favorites now. We should get to the finals now. But if you got him here, you're walking to the finals.
I will say this. Keith's saying game on the line, Kobe over LeBron.
Yes.
I will say this. LeBron on the Knicks, who's taking the final shot? Brunson or LeBron? Because is this going to turn into LeBron's team?
No.
Or is it still going to be Brunson's team?
No. You know what? Listen, I need Brunson. I do not need Brunson 42 minutes of all that. Brunson is the best closer in the NBA. He is. I'm not saying it because I'm a Knicks fan. He's the best closer. There's nobody in the league right now that you want the ball in his hands with the game on the line more than Jalen Brunson. If there is, find him. There's nobody. He's the best in the NBA. So, listen, am I ever going to say I can't have the ball in LeBron's hands? No, but listen, LeBron's going to do the other things. It's just. I think it's Lakers, Knicks, or Cleveland. That's it. If he does one out of the Lakers, he's going to go east. Why go west? Listen, the Rockets, the West is so good, Kenny. Just say LeBron went to the Rockets, like Keith's saying, they could still lose in the first round. They play Denver, they could lose. They play the Clippers, they could lose. They play OKC, they could lose. That's just crazy. In the East, you're walking, Kenny. You're walking. Boom. Walking to the final. So that's number 1. The number 2 elephant on the fan is Giannis, Kenny.
Yep.
And you saw they released Damian Lillard, stretched him. They signed Miles Turner to a huge contract, took him from Indiana. Giannis just said, I'm sitting back. I'm not going to make a decision on my future. I'm going to see what they do. Let me explain again. I watched Knicks Film School. These 2 guys, Jonathan Macri and Cohen. Jeremy Cohen. These guys are awesome, and they made a great point. If Giannis does not get traded this year, I'm happy. I'm happy. If he is, I want him, right? Because next year we are going to have such a better package for him, right? We're going to be able to trade 2 more first-round picks. We're going to be able to do more swaps. So, this year, Giannis basically has to come out and be, I want to be in New York, right? Otherwise, teams have better packages. Next year, we might have the best package or one of the best packages in the NBA. But Giannis is the other guy in the room. Giannis is, he's going to go to San Antonio. Why? To play all those teams? Come right here. You come here, when you bring us on the team, we're the favorites to win the whole thing. Are you interested in Giannis? Now, you're going to have to trade. You're not getting him for peanuts. It's either Cat or the same packages. Would you do Giannis for Cat? Straight up.
Yes, 100%.
Okay. Would you do Giannis for Mitch, Deuce, Anunoby, and a number one?
Yeah. You want to know why, or you want me to tell you when you're
No,
done?
I got one more. I got
All
one
right.
more for you. Bridges, Hart, Mitch, and pick swaps.
Yeah. Okay, you're going to have other teams involved. Look at the Durant trade with 7. So you're going to have other teams involved. But I'm going to say yes to all 3 because you're going to get something else back. It's not just going to be Giannis. There's going to be another player that
You
comes
take
back.
Kyle Kuzma's bad contract.
I take it. I tell you why. Where are you getting 30 points a game, 11 rebounds a game,
You're not.
7 assists a game?
You're not.
Where are you getting that?
You're not.
And if you can get that, pair that up with Brunson, and just pick one of the packages, Kurt. Pick the most intriguing. Pick one of them, and we'll just say that we'll roll with it.
Give me the OG Mitch, Picks, Deuce, Kolick, something like that.
You got Karl Anthony Towns, Greek Freak, Brunson, Bridges, and then somebody else gets into this. Yeah, I roll with that. You know what? That gets me to the East Coast Finals, and like you said, could be the favorites to win it all.
I think you're the favorites to win it all with him. Now, again, as long as he doesn't get traded, that's where I think people you got to play the game, right? Like, I did not did I want KD? Yeah, I wanted KD, but I'm happy as long as he didn't go to Miami. Let him go to Houston. If I meet Houston in the finals, good. Other than that, I don't care about Houston. I'm not going to see Houston. I'm going to see him twice. Let him stay there. It's the same thing with this Greek Freak, right? Like, that's the thing. If I could get him, go get him. But if people go and say, see, it doesn't matter. Giannis stayed in Milwaukee. That's fine. Listen, I don't want him in Miami, right? That's an issue. But it's a win-win if he stays in Milwaukee again, because now in the offseason, now we could pounce. Now we have a better offer. Now we're going to have more draft picks to trade, right? Because we couldn't trade last year's because of the Bridges trade. You had to take these years off. Now you get the picks back to be able to trade. So that's a win-win. Like, you got to look at it like that too. I know people are going to say, see, the Knicks are screwed. No, we're not screwed if Giannis stays. We're screwed if Giannis goes to Miami. But if he stays, fine. Why? Because we're still got the best. We're the favorites to get to the East. So if everything stays status quo, we should still get to the NBA Finals. So I don't know what your thoughts are about that.
No, I agree, Kurt. I think I do not want to see him go to Miami. And I don't think he would go anywhere else. I don't think there's many options. Teams that are the Celtics aren't gonna go for Greek Freak. They can't. They're unloading salaries.
Again,
Cavaliers, they're not going to trade him to a rival.
Spurs, like what are you gaining by going? Oh, I'm going to play with, but you're not the favorites if you go to the Spurs.
No,
you're not. You're not better than OKC, right? I don't know. In my opinion, you're still not better than Denver. I mean, are you really better? It's just, you could lose first round. Like, if he wants out, and again, this is why Keith is saying, why the Knicks over the Cavs and the Lakers for LeBron. The Lakers aren't going to win an NBA championship. They're not. The West is they're not good enough. They're not. They're not better than the Clippers, not better than the Nuggets, not better than the Spurs, not better than OKC. You got Dallas there. It's just, again, they could be first round. The Knicks should walk to the Eastern Conference Finals next year. Just walk right in. I mean, it's an embarrassment if you lose to the Pistons, if you lose to the Magic, if you lose to the Hawks. It's an embarrassment for what what you put out to get these guys. Embarrassment. And why Knicks over Cleveland? Again, legacy, right? I mean, be the guy. The one thing you've always avoided was New York. New York has not won since 73. You could be part of that team to do it. So, yeah, I mean, I could see him going back home. Okay, I'm going to finish in Cleveland. Yes, I could see that. I just, I don't know. I don't know. It's one of those, honestly, it's one of those three teams. I don't think he's going anywhere else, Kenny. I think it's one of those three.
Yeah. Keith was saying, I think he meant LeBron and Giannis seem so old, or saying KD. Don't get either. Who's a young talent? Is Greek Freak still considered young at 30, or would you go?
Yeah, I mean, again,
who else is a young talent?
Who is a young talent? Like, who is a young talent? Like that's what I want to ask you. Who is a young talent?
I mean, Donovan Mitchell was, but we lost out on that a couple of years ago.
But I mean, Donovan Mitchell's not 20
Zion Williamson.
Right, Zion. I mean, do you want to go?
No, you only if it's like for cheap. I'm not giving up anything for Zion Williamson. But that's somebody. If the Pelicans are looking to get out of contract, but let's answer FaZe here.
Okay,
because I agree with some, and I think we can explain. We're falling into the same old trade all our assets for one big name that the Knicks did for decades. Why can't we just develop our talent like Oklahoma City? We have a phenomenal squad already. I agree that we have a great squad, but I don't know if we got, the talent to develop. Our talent is Hukporti, Kolek, and Dadier, right? Those are our three young guys. Who else? Everybody else was brought in FaZe as a free agent or a trade. So those are only three guys that we can develop right now. And our picks, you saw, we didn't have a pick this year, a second round pick. We're going to be title contenders again next year. So I don't see us getting close to a lottery pick next year and for many years to come. So I don't know if there is anything there to develop, star-wise. And what I mean by star-wise is, all-star talent, to develop into an all-star. I don't know if you agree, Kurt, like if you want to add or disagree with me on certain things.
The only thing I would disagree is we're saying we're falling into the same old trade for all our assets for one big name. I mean, we just did that last summer. We traded 5 first-round picks for Mikal Bridges. I mean, so like we basically already did what you're saying you don't want to do, because that's what we traded 5 picks for Bridges. And listen, I'm making that trade again, even though I don't love Bridges. I'm making that trade. I mean, look at the Brooklyn Nets, right? They picked 5 first-round picks. Who? What? Like, we're going to bring them overseas from Serbia. Like, listen, again, useless. You don't win like what do you want to do? You want to just develop a team and play, to get good players, right? To get good players and to get high draft picks, you have to stink. We don't want to stink. We want to be champion contenders. What is our pick? Think about it. If we had our draft pick this year, who would we take? Seriously, we would take somebody and stash them. Why? Because they can't get into the rotation. We're here to win a championship. That's what I want right now. If we had 10 wins, then yeah, I'm going to do it. But again, I love what Leon Rose did. Why? Because you just can't develop everybody and say, this is how it goes. No. Like we drafted RJ Barrett. We played him, developed him. But when the opportunity came to go get a better player, Kenny asked you this the other day, who's better, RJ Barrett or OG Anunoby?
OG Anunoby, in my opinion.
So we did the right thing. We actually put quickly in that deal to get that done, right? So that's how you got to do it. If you can, you draft the guy, play him. Hey, he looks pretty good, but I can go get somebody better. Go bring him in.
And in FaZe, I agree. Oklahoma City did exactly what you said. They developed, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. The Philadelphia 76ers were in that same boat, and they lost. They didn't win a championship. They got Embiid, Maxey, other guys. Tobias Harris was over there.
Ben Simmons.
Yeah, and that failed. So the Knicks right now, in my opinion, FaZe, they did it the free agent. They did it the trade way.
Yep.
They did it that route. And I think it's too hard to get out of that right now. It's good. Like I said, I like Kolek. I like Dadier. I hope they get some minutes this year. Hukporti. But, to completely develop. I think if somebody like Greek Freak, now I agree, LeBron, I'm not big on LeBron face, but if you can get Greek Freak over here, I think that would be the difference in getting us even better than we were last year. Now, I'm okay. I don't want anybody to get the wrong opinion. I am 100% on board if this is our roster opening day. I'm not against it.
Me too.
But if somebody told me Greek Freak's available, I got to seriously do it.
That's right. He's the game changer, Kenny. He's
Face. I don't want you to say your age over the thing, but Kurt and I are 50. We never seen a championship, so we want to see one. And if it means we gotta buy some players to get one, we're not getting any younger. We need to see one sooner than later.
See, here's the thing, Kenny, because I like Kolek, I like Dottie, I like Huckporty, right? But you can't gamble with that, right? Like you can't gamble with okay, let's try these guys. And we don't have time. Like we have to go into this postseason this year. We're either going to go in as the favorite to win the whole thing, the favorite to win the East, or a top 3 team to win this whole thing. I can't play around and say, let's give experience to Tyler Kolek. You can't do that. Not when you're in a championship window. I mean, you got to play Clarkson. You got to play Yabusele. You got to play Josh Hart. You got to do it. I mean, Tyler Kolek is a 2nd-round pick. They're 2nd-round picks for reasons, right? Dottie was a 1st-round pick, but it was let's just end of the 1st round, right? That's why those guys are like that. People jump around. Look who I got. Come on, 9 out of 10 of those guys won't even be in the league. So I'm not worried about that. Not where I am now. If I'm the Nets, I'm doing that. And then listen, draft 12 guys, maybe 3 of them stick. We don't have opportunities for that. We got to go out. I'm not looking to go on, I want to get a vet minimum. I'm not looking to get, I'm not looking to get, this young athletic point guard, like you said, Kenny, we got to get a point guard with, God forbid, Brunson's in foul trouble or something in the playoffs. We need a Brogdon, a Paul, a Russell Westbrook. I can't get, okay, let's get this 2nd-year point guard out of, Gonzaga that never, we can't mess around with that. We're here to win now. We're here to win now.
My good friend Roy Osborne saying hello, Kurt. What's up, Roy? Thanks for hanging out. And FaZe is saying, he's been a fan since '92. I shares the pain, trust me. Yeah, we're not, it's not, different. I have nothing against any Knicks fans that want to try and build. I don't have anything against that. It's just that I know Kurt more than me. We're both 50 years old. We haven't seen a championship. We want one in the next couple of years.
And you also have to understand this, Kenny, right? What have we never had until Brunson?
Point guard.
And you know what? Now that we got him,
that's like having the quarterback in football.
That's it. You got to go all in. You got to go all in. It's so nice to say, hey, we're going to draft our franchise quarterback. Let me ask you something, right? Let me ask you something. We have Jet fans probably on here. The Jet fans have said that since Joe Namath. We're going to draft our guy, but they never got him. They never got him, right? I mean, let's be honest with you. You guys, you're a Giant fan. Besides Eli, right? Besides Eli, who have you guys drafted and developed as a Giant quarterback?
Besides Eli, not many.
No one.
Yeah.
Who is Denver besides? I mean, we didn't draft that way, but besides that way, who have we done
Phil
it with?
Simms. Yeah.
Okay, Phil Simms. Okay. But it doesn't happen. It's easier said, well, we'll just find our point guard. But that's not reality. It took us how many years to get Brunson? So now when you got him, you got to cash your chips in and say, listen, I don't care about hey, when Brunson's let's get a championship. Let's get one and maybe a second one. And then
we suffer for a couple of years. But you know what? You get me a championship, I'll suffer for a couple of years.
Suffer. We'll retool it and then we'll figure it out. That's how you got to look at it. That's the only way you can look at it. You can't go, no way. No way. We are in a championship window now.
Keep throwing one out there. What would you trade for Wembanyama? That would take everybody.
Yeah, I mean, they're never going to do that.
They would never do it, but I would say it would
be
Towns, Bridges, 5 years of number ones.
I'll be honest. Here's the thing.
And probably another team and another team star involved.
But right now, you couldn't even trade those guys because Wembanyama doesn't make any money.
Doesn't make money. Yeah.
So you couldn't even trade like Towns, and I mean, you couldn't.
Eddie Murphy saying hello. We got a Nets fan troll in the audience here.
There he is.
I just want to say thanks for leaving me on read, LOL.
And who's 5 guys they draft?
Saying his heart broke with Ewing at the rim, and he's a Laker fan.
Yeah,
that was tough.
Yeah,
that was tough. But anything else you want? How about this, Kurt? I got one more for you.
Okay.
We talked about Greek Freak. A guy I would take, and I'll explain why I would take him. Because, here's my point guard, not for this year because he's hurt. But you got him you kind of get him on next year for the cheap because Milwaukee released him. Damian Lillard.
Yeah, I would do that.
And maybe if all goes well on his healing, you may get him for the playoffs.
I would do that. Again, that's where Miami,
And it's not, I don't care if Greek Freak goes somewhere else. I would like Damian Lillard because there's your backup point guard now. And then you can get a little creative with Lillard and Brunson in a starting lineup. You can have Brunson more as a 2, and Lillard could be the point. That'd be a little creative in 2026, 27 season because Lillard's out this year, but that's way down the line. That would be a little creative having Lillard in the starting lineup. Certain packages you can go. If you want to go small, we were saying, right, against a small team.
Yeah, no, listen, how can you say you'd be against that?
And Obi, Bridges, and Cat.
This is where I am right now. I love our roster right now. I love it. I love the thing I love when people say, oh, you don't have any. We have young talent. We have Porty. We have Dadier. You have Kolick. Those are 3 guys. Second year now, they should be able to help out a little bit. I have 0 problems. I want either 3 rosters. 1, the roster we have right now. Just exactly the way it is, like you said. Let's get 1 more vet minimum, ideally a veteran point guard. I'm ready to rock with that. 2, if Greek Freak says I want out, I want New York, I don't care what it takes, I'm going to get Greek Freak. Don't care. Cat, do it. If it's OG and Mitch, do it. If it's Bridges, Hart, and Mitch, do it. I don't care. I'm doing that. The third one would be the LeBron situation. I really have to think about that. Ideal, again, if I could get him on a buyout and I'm adding him to this team, 100% I'm doing that. For a trade, I really am seriously thinking about it. It's my least, like, again, 1 and 2. The Giannis, I don't care what it is. Just what do you want, Milwaukee? Just get it done. Let's get him here and let's go. Those are the only 3 guys again, the roster, how it is now, Giannis or LeBron. That's it for me. I don't want to trade anybody else. There's nothing else to trade. There's nothing else that's going to make me happy. Again, we're not going to get like a Wembanyama. So that's not going to happen, but I don't know how you feel, Kenny. That's how I'm. Those are my 3 scenarios. The way the roster is now, Giannis or LeBron. That's it.
My A would be Giannis. I think he's the best player in the NBA.
Yep.
And you can bring him over to the Knicks for the right package. That's my A. And I say right package, it had to be a fair trade, like maybe Greek Freak for Towns and maybe like I would say Deuce McBride in there. Like that's a right package. 2 for 1. We got to take, work with some other teams. You get the Kuzma back. I'll take that. My B is leaving it the way it is.
I'll tell you this though. When it comes to, and again, we can't trade draft picks now because draft picks, again, because of the trade last year, next year we're able to trade, but like we could trade 2nd round picks. We could do pick swaps. I don't care what it takes for if it's in the offseason, if we can get to next year and Giannis is available, I'm dead serious. I will give them every pick I own for the next, 7 years. I would just give them everything. I don't care. Bring them in. I'm giving you every useless pick and take your second round picks and take your pick in 30 and good luck with stashing players overseas. That's what I'm doing. What are you against me or with me on that?
No, I'm not against you there. Again, I think Greek Freak's the best player in the NBA, and if it wasn't for LeBron, he'd be the face of the NBA. That's I would give him up for the right package. I don't want to give up everything for Greek Freak. I would give up right package would mean Karl Anthony Towns goes to Milwaukee, Greek Freak comes back, and then you give them a piece or two complimentary pieces for them. I'm not giving up two starters. I don't want to do that. My B would be leave the roster the way it is. And my C would be LeBron at the trade deadline. If the Lakers are out of it, like Eddie just saying, if he declined the option, but he'd have more suitors. $53 million is hard to take on.
It is.
Here comes the buyout. Trade deadline's coming up. They're out of it. Now you can give them some future pieces, and the Knicks can go for their championship at the trade deadline and not overpay for LeBron James, in my opinion. So that would be my C scenario. And Damian Lillard, I would bring over, and any of those. Damian Lillard, I would bring over. I know he's not going to play this year, but if I can get him cheap, like a vet minimum, like you said, because the Bucks are paying his salary, and again, the 3 point guards we talked about, that they're high on my priority. If you can get one of those 3. The Knicks may go to the championship with this roster as is. Westbrook would be my 3rd. Brogdon would be my 2nd. Chris Paul, I think, would be perfect here. 1-year deal, close to a vet min. If not, the vet min knows his role, plays 15 minutes a game off the bench. If Brunson was to go down for a couple games, you got him on. You got him to start, and most importantly, down 2 fourth quarter, or down 1 fourth quarter, you can bring Chris Paul and Brunson in the same. Paul can bring the ball up. Brunson can play the 2 and get the final shot off as a shooting guard, not a point guard.
All right. I'm going to throw a crazy scenario out before we go, because you just made a great point. You said trade deadline LeBron. It's possible trade deadline Giannis, right? Do you think the Knicks are going to be pretty good?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they're 50 to 55 games.
Okay.
Easy.
So just going to throw a scenario out. All-Star break hits right before the trade deadline. The Knicks are 38-14. Giannis is available. LeBron's available. Are you breaking up what you have? Or are you saying, nah, we're 38-14. I'm not touching this chemistry and stuff like that?
You're going to be upset with me and probably disagree with me. If I'm 38-14, I'm keeping it the way it is.
It's tough.
I might bring in a small piece if I need depth at point guard, or if I need depth, a bench player. I might do something like that. A small, like a name like a Russell Westbrook may become available at the deadline.
But I'm saying you just said on this air, he's the best player in basketball.
He is, but if you're 38-14, why would I give up that when you're on pace to win 60?
Listen, I'm telling you right now, there's a chance that happens.
I know.
Because
East is the Knicks. The Knicks, Cavaliers, and everybody else.
Right.
That includes Boston in that mix.
Yep.
The 76ers, the Magic. The Pacers got worse.
Yep.
That includes Halliburton and Turner gone. Halliburton out for the year. Turner hurt. Tatum hurt. Everybody in the East. The Cavaliers are going to be good, and the Knicks. We can't beat the Cavaliers. I don't know what to tell you. It's time to get rid of everybody. And like they said, rebuild.
So let me ask you this. Is that a scenario the Knicks do not want? Is 38-14, and those guys now are available?
No, because you know what? 38-14, you're rolling for the 1 seed, and you're going to roll to the East Coast Finals with the 1 seed. Because I don't care what anybody says, we lost last year at the Garden. We are not losing this year at the Mecca. We have the number 1 seed. Put it in the books right now, East Coast Finals. Eastern Conference, NBA Finals, not Eastern Conference Finals. NBA Finals, we get the 1 seed. So 38-14, I'm not changing anything. Like I said, maybe a role player on the bench, a veteran. Chris Paul is available. Go get him. That could be a difference maker. Russell Westbrook can be a difference maker. Get me an old veteran point guard that can back up Brunson. We all saw the disaster that it was campaign last year, you know, and we all saw how that went, how that turned out. So get me a veteran that can run this team when Brunson's not in that lineup. That's the move you need. That's the winning move if we don't make that winning move before the deadline.
Okay. I'm going to throw one more.
All right, just real quick, Face saying our offense averaged 116 a game last season. We've added more scorers. So to me, we just have to lock in on defense. But I get your guys' point. We only have a 3-year window for a chip.
That's it. He's right. That's it.
And then real quick, Eddie Murphy, CP3. CP for 3 now. Knicks are only down by 27. Again, the net fan of the group. Trevor's saying hello. What's up, Trevor, out there in Colorado? What's up, boys? Knicks need 1 or 2 more bench pieces. I like Clarkson, but I don't know if his defense is good enough in the playoffs. I think they could use another wing off the bench as well. Likes the Yabusele side.
What's up, Trevor?
What's up, Trevor? Would you pick up Ben Simmons as a backup? Eddie's asking, Kurt.
Yes. Vet minimum?
See, I would not.
Yes.
I wouldn't because of the injury history. So
all right, so let me throw one more scenario out to you. Knicks are 38-14. But out of the 14 losses, they lost to Denver, they lost to OKC, they lost to the Rockets, lost once or twice to Cleveland, lost to the Spurs.
Kind of like this year.
There's no way in my world I'm not making that trade. Because my goal is to win a championship. I don't want to win 60 games. And
like the Cavaliers did this year.
Yes.
I get your point there. I'm on board with you there. You kind of swayed me. If that's the scenario, we're not beating teams that are playoff contenders and title contenders, then yes, I need to improve my team. Even though we're 38-14, we're beating up the Hornets and we're beating up the Raptors.
The Raptors, right?
We're beating up all the weak teams in the East,
right?
Then yes, I do have to think about making that move. Yes,
right. Okay, listen, that's a scenario. I hope we're in that scenario. I hope we're 38-14.
Yeah. It's very easy to be 38-14 and beat the Wizards 5 times, the Nets 5 times.
Exactly.
You know? But you lose to like you just said, the Rockets. You lose to the Cavaliers. You lose to the Celtics.
Listen, it's the same thing with football. As a Bronco fan, I don't want to be I'm 10-4, and again I lost to the Bengals. I lost to Kansas City. I lose to Baltimore. Like. I'm not. I can't bring that team into the playoffs. Like, I got to make a move. I got to get better. Like, our goal is a championship. Our goal just isn't, hey, look at us. We won 56 games. And no. Not, especially not where we are. Second round, eliminated. Eastern Conference Finals, eliminated. It's championship or bust. Listen to me. I could win 66 games next year. We could be 66-16. If we don't win a championship, we failed. That's it. We failed. So we got to put the best team together to win our first championship.
Eddie wants to know if we should they throw an offer to Thomas and see if the Knicks match.
What Thomas?
Should the Knicks throw in offer to Thomas and see if the Knicks match? Yeah, I think you got a typo there, Ed. If you can put that in less than a minute, we'll get it on. But
he can't. I mean, he can't be talking about anybody on the Nets.
Cam Thomas is a Cam Thomas. They just got Michael Porter Jr. That's their.
You know what Eddie's got. You know what we're gonna do. You know what we're gonna do for Eddie. When's your birthday? and me and Kenny, we're gonna buy you a birthday Christmas present. We're gonna buy him like an overseas package, because all your draft picks you're gonna watch that are in the Conga, Serbia, Italy League, the French League, all those guys you drafted that are who knows when they're going to play and what they're going to play. You can watch them overseas. That's
so the Knicks throw an offer to Thomas and see if the Nets match. No way.
We got your best player anyway.
I'm going to end on a happy note. Our rivals, the Nets. I remember a few years back, Kurt was upset. I wasn't, because I never wanted Kevin Durant. The Nets got Kevin Durant. The Nets got Kyrie Irving. The Nets got James Harden. We're going to the NBA Finals. The couple Net fans that are out there, Eddie, you're one. There's not many. So I applaud you guys that you're Net fans, because you really don't have a big fan base. But the Brooklyn Nets are going to go to the NBA Finals. What happened? They didn't go to the Finals, one. And then two, they all got upset. They got the coach fired. They didn't want Kenny Atkinson over there. And then they all started leaving one by one. James Harden bye-bye. Kyrie Irving, bye-bye. Kevin Durant, bye-bye. Talk about a team face that's trying to rebuild and doing it the wrong way. If you're still out there, the Nets. They tried to buy their way to a championship, and you know what? The Stars thought that they were going to go to Brooklyn and turn it into a Brooklyn was going to be number one and the Knicks number two. Remember how bad the Knicks were that year, Kurt? Julius Randle and Elfrid Payton was our point guard. Julius Randle was on our team, but we had Elfrid Payton as our point guard. I forget who else was on that team off the top of my head, but they were still selling out, and the Nets couldn't sell out in a playoff game with those three stars.
Ready? Well, look at what we got. We got 5 draft picks. Hey, we got Igor Demen. Hey, now we got Nolan Traore. He's from St. Quentin. Yeah, but now we got Drake Powell. Yeah, but you know what? We got from, I don't even know how to say this, Ratio Farum Ulam, Ben Sarif. And then we got Danny Wolf. Listen to me. Get out of here. Give me Mikal Bridges any day of the week.
I think the G League, the Knicks Summer League roster can beat that Nets roster. I really do.
Listen.
Now, that's a wrong way of rebuilding Face and everybody else out there. That's a wrong way of rebuilding.
I tell you, Eddie's, hey, how's your draft pick, Eddie? He's gonna say, I gotta tune into channel 403742 on Luce Libre channel to watch my draft picks in the Uruguay League. Get out at 2:30 in the morning.
NBA, now don't get me wrong, Ed. If it was our Giants and we had 5 first-round picks, that should be, a GM's dream would be 5 first-round picks in right, Kurt? 5 first-round picks in the NFL. You're going to a championship in 3 years. NBA only has, probably this draft had maybe 3 to 5 players tops that are going to be stars and contributors. And you got 5 players that ain't going to do nothing. You didn't trade any of them, Ed. What is your GM thinking?
I would have took all 5 of those picks along with my other 4 from the next year. I'd say, anybody want 14 picks, 19 picks,
and then you give
picks,
up,
trade them all.
You give up your one player that could turn into a decent player and, a borderline star for Michael Porter Jr. over in Denver. What are you doing? Terrible.
Keep them in Brooklyn. All right, let's not worry about the Nets. Let's get final thoughts. I'll start. Fire it up. Let's go, baby. I'm behind Mike Brown. I love Clarkson. Love Yabusele. Listen, eyes on Giannis, eyes on LeBron. Otherwise, we roll it back and let's go. Mr. Kirkpatrick, final word.
My final words, thank you, everybody, for being part of the show tonight. Face, you're a new face to the show, a new member, so welcome. Hope you like the show. Great points you came up with.
Yep.
It's going to be a fun season. get behind Mike Brown. Don't let, the name fool you. He's a decent head coach, 50-40 in the playoffs, and a former coach of the year with Sacramento. He's never had this much talent on a team. Let's see what Mike Brown can do with this Knicks team, and let's go get that championship. Let's go Knicks.
Line of the night, Eddie Murphy. But I don't know what the Nets are doing. I might pull a scoop and run how he did with New Orleans. With the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah, you could come run. You could come to the blue and orange.
Come over. I got some Knicks here for you.
We'll take you. We'll give you blue and orange colors.
All right, boys. Have a good
night. All right, everybody.